The Didcot Powerhouse Fund was started by a group of local volunteers who saw the urgent need to support the local community and wanted to find a way to make their donations as impactful as possible. The fund launched in 2021 and is still run by volunteers. The way the fund works is that donors, businesses, community fundraising or individuals make donations into the fund. So far, over £300,000 has been donated. Once a year, the fund then makes grants to local charities and community groups. 35 grants have been made so far, with at least another 20 grants expected in 2024. Powerhouse regularly asks for updates from the grant recipients on the impact they are achieving and the challenges they have met, and Powerhouse then shares that success with donors through newsletters, social media, and an annual impact report.
I know from my experience at Milton Park that businesses receive so many requests for donations, and it's hard. It's really hard trying to investigate each one, prioritise them, and then decide where to put the money. So we came up with the idea of the fund as a way of making sure that our donations went where they were most needed locally, while at the same time easing the administrative burden for any business that committed to supporting our community.
As Philip says, Powerhouse is all about supporting local, so at least 90% of beneficiaries of any Powerhouse grant must live locally in the Powerhouse area. This Powerhouse area, outlined in blue on the map, has a population of over 46,000, covering Didcot, as well as villages from Culham to Blueberry, and the hotspots of business and science at Milton Park, Harwell and Culham. But alongside the successful businesses and internationally renowned science are pockets of serious deprivation.
As Lord Lieutenant for Oxfordshire, I have the opportunity to get to know the whole county, and am hugely proud of the business, science, and innovation taking place in the Powerhouse area, including at Culham, Harwell, and Milton Park. Equally, I am so proud of the local people and organizations sharing their time and resources to make a positive, enduring difference. This sharing is helping to level the playing field and give more opportunities to local communities. This is important because alongside the Powerhouse area of internationally recognized success, there are areas where the playing field is not level. Nearby, there are neighborhoods in the top 10% most deprived in England. So I am impressed by everything Powerhouse has already achieved in the first 2 years.
So let's just focus in on 4 particular areas of need. In the Powerhouse area, over 1,000 children live in relative low-income families and 834 children in absolute low-income families. Over 7,500 people are in the 20% most deprived in England in the education domain. And in the latest data available, the proportion of young people entering higher education by age 19 is 33%, below the averages for Oxfordshire and for England. Across the Powerhouse area, when young children are assessed against 17 early learning goals, historically the Didcot Powerhouse area has underperformed both the Oxfordshire and England averages, one reason that Powerhouse focuses on early years. And over 4,500 people in the area have absolutely no qualification at all, O-level, GCSE or NVQ, and in Didcot South, the percentage with no qualifications is higher than the average for all of England. One reason for the Powerhouse area seeming to fall behind in some respects may be historic underfunding. It may surprise you to know, and it certainly surprised me, that the Powerhouse area is underfunded relative to the rest of Oxfordshire. If we take just one example, national lottery funding. So per 10,000 of population from 2004 to 2021, the Powerhouse area received £45,000. but that's only 59% of what was received across the average of Oxfordshire. And we received only 13 grants per 10,000 of population, compared with 30 for the average of England. So Powerhouse is needed not just to fill in that funding gap, but also to help strengthen the local charities so that they're going to be really successful in their bids for national funding. But notwithstanding these pockets of very real need, I think we all acknowledge that in the Powerhouse area there is fabulous community spirit and really committed charities and community groups. So, thanks to your donations, Powerhouse is able to make grants that support local beneficiaries and across a broad range of different needs. Following is a snapshot of what has been achieved by just a few of the grant recipients in 2023. A big thank you to all the charities working so hard for our local community. And you can read more about the fabulous work achieved locally through 2023 Powerhouse grants in our annual impact report. But alongside paying tribute to the hard work of the charities, we all say a massive thank you to our donors, because quite genuinely, without your support, none of this could happen. You are quite literally changing lives. So let's hear from one of our founding donors as to why Powerhouse works for them.
So Milton Park is a founding donor to the Didcot Powerhouse Fund at quantum level, and I sit on the advisory group. Powerhouse works for us for three key reasons. Number one, by donating to Powerhouse, we know that our donation will be spread across many local charities and community groups. Our employees have a broad range of concerns, so it's good to know that Powerhouse grants also support a broad range of issues. And we don't have to choose the charities, we trust the grants panel with their local knowledge to know where the local need is greatest. Number two, impact is important to us, but we don't have time to follow up donations ourselves. When you donate to Powerhouse, you know that you will receive an annual impact report and regular news stories and case studies that you can share with your employees. Number three, lastly, donating to local good causes can be time consuming because of the due diligence required. But with a donation to Powerhouse, all that due diligence is done for you by the Oxfordshire Community Foundation. So if you're interested in supporting the local community, where perhaps most of your employees with their families live, then we can absolutely recommend the Powerhouse as an effective way to achieve impact with your donations.
So we thank our corporate donors, but we also thank our many individual donors and those involved in fundraising for Powerhouse, from sponsored burpees in Blueberry to running half marathons. And we particularly appreciate hearing that our donors have shared the impact feedback with their staff.
Hachette UK Distribution is delighted to be able to double our contributions to the Didcot Powerhouse Fund this year, having been a founding donor. The fund does an amazing job ensuring that contributions go to deserving local causes. It is run extremely professionally and provides brilliant communication back to donors. In our case, I'm able to share this with all of our staff who helped to raise the funds. Seeing the local impact is incredibly motivating for everyone in our business, and we hope to do a lot more in the future.
So a final thank you to everyone who has made Powerhouse a success over the last 2 years. To all the volunteers who work on the advisory group and the grants panel, to the businesses who give their services pro bono, to all of the charities and community groups who work so hard to make a difference, and to the donors, the businesses, the individuals, and all that community fundraising. Thank you. Together we're helping Powerhouse to fuel better futures.